Today we're going to be talking about the 10 biggest games from Gamescom 2021 for Xbox Series X and S. But first up, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and share. It really helps the channel out. So before we get into the list, I want to talk about hardware. So at Gamescom, we saw the first collector's edition console that people can buy for Xbox Series X, and it looks amazing. It's for Halo Infinite. Now, here's the thing. Halo hardware always looks good. Xbox 360s, Xbox Ones, they all look good. But this looks amazing. It looks like something genuinely from the Halo universe. It looks like something you see in an armory, which is really cool. And another thing is, the controller comes with is spectacular. This is going to be a controller I say they should sell individually for people to buy. There's also going to be a Halo Infinite Xbox Elite Series 2 controller, which is cool. But first up, I just want to say that not all the games today are going to have gameplay audio because there was a lot of licensed music during Gamescom. Anyway, let's get into the list. Enjoy. At number 10 we have Flight Simulator expansions. So we do know we're getting a Top Gun Maverick expansion later this year for free. We're also getting helicopters next year, but we're also getting a drone style helicopter later this year. But what surprised me most is not only are we getting World War II aircraft, but also a competitive flight mode. So you're going to be able to race other friends in this new racing mode. Like, that was completely out of nowhere. And the fact that we're getting racing, actual competitive racing, in Flight Simulator, that's just another cool thing. And here's the thing, they keep adding on to this, so we get more world updates, and the game world just keeps getting more detailed and rich. Like, Flight Simulator is very niche. However, I think more people should play it because I keep putting hours into it, and it's just fun. And the fact that we're getting competitive racing with potentially things like leaderboards and more achievements, that's a win in my book. More options is never a bad thing. At number 9 we have The Gunk, which is a sci-fi third-person action-adventure game set on an alien planet plagued by gunk. And from what it looks like is you use these Super Mario Sunshine-like devices to clean the environment, which looks really cool. We haven't seen this game in over a year, but even though we got a new trailer at Gamescom, we didn't actually get a release date until after the show in one of the press blogs, so it comes out this December. It looks really cool in my opinion. At number 8 we have Dying Light 2. Now, the original game came out, surprised everyone, it surprised me. The game was so good, and for people that don't know, it's an open world action survival game where the emphasis is based on you surviving the zombie apocalypse using parkour. So it's not exactly a typical game, and here's the thing, I loved that first game. They go above and beyond with the sequel. The world can dynamically change based on choices you make. So if you talk to someone else about the game and they've made different choices, both of your worlds will look completely different. It's set 20 years after the first game, so they go in weird places with the story, which is really cool. And another thing is that the map size is going to be multiple times bigger than all the first game's areas combined. So that's a really big map, especially in an open world city. There's going to be faster parkour and 2 times the amount of parkour moves you can do. And the game just looks genuinely good. And if you've played the first one, you already know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't played it, well, trust me when I say this game looks like it's going to be a must play. Especially with what the developers are doing with next gen technology. At number 7 we have Dolmen. And the thing is, this is a horror game that's also an RPG, and we don't see them often, especially in a sci-fi setting. Now, obviously, if you've been following my channel for a while and me on Twitter, you'll understand why this game caught my eye. It looks really cool. The robots and aliens have a really cool look to the game. Honestly, I liked what I saw. And here's the thing. When it comes to horror games next year, in the sci-fi space, we have a wide variety to choose from. And the list keeps on growing, which is awesome. At number 6 we have Crossfire X. Now, I think this game looks fantastic. I played the beta, it plays cool, but the main thing I'm looking forward to is the single player campaign by Remedy. And even though they didn't show much or if any of the campaign last night, what did interest me is that all the trailers and all the information provided of this game last night basically said that it's still coming soon, and that's both components. And as someone that likes Remedy games and modern, FPS games, I'm really excited. And plus, the multiplayer is really cool in my opinion if you like small scale military combat. But hey, it looks like we'll be getting more news soon this year. At number 5 we have the Saints Row Reboot. And here's the thing, I'll admit, the cinematic they showed didn't hit me well. However, the gameplay they showed afterwards did. And here's the thing, this is the first Saints Row game since GTA 5 released. So they have to get a lot of people's attention. And they got mine. I love open world games set in a city where I have a big sandbox to play with. And we haven't had many. Not many. And this game looks awesome. It looks like they're keeping the tone of Saints Row 3 while improving on the graphics, and it looks like they have the same lighting from the Saints Row 3 remaster, which in my opinion is cool because that game looks phenomenal. So it looks like they may not be going back to the gritty version of Saints Row back with 1 and 2, but they're not going as overboard as they did with Saints Row 4. So hey, the game looks cool in my book. At number 4 we have Marvel's Midnight Suns. Now, a lot of people know about this game for a while, and it's always been described as Marvel Superhero XCOM. But the truth is, this isn't going to share any gameplay elements from XCOM. So we can expect a lot of new stuff, and it's actually labelled more of an RPG with turn-based combat. And the thing is, you're going to be playing as a lot of the heroes that aren't like, your main heroes like Iron Man and Captain America. There's going to be a huge array of them. You can also create your own superhero in this game, which is pretty much going to be the coolest aspect. And you're also going to see variants of superheroes because you're going to be playing with the multiverse a bit, so you're going to see different versions of Wolverine and Blade, and to me, that's really cool because we're going to see more and more cool superhero games, and the fact that Firaxis is making it, yeah, it's guaranteed to be good because, again, Firaxis make really, really cool turn-based games, and this should be a must-play. At number 3 we have Forza Horizon 5. Now, when it comes to Xbox this year, their first party lineup looking this fall looks really good. They've got expansions for games, and they also have first party games, and one of them being, well, Forza Horizon 5. And the thing about Playground Games is that they genuinely know how to make it a fun open world game, because that's what Playground Games specializes in, fun open worlds. And that means filling out the environment with interesting things to do, but also the environment itself looks ridiculously good. There's even individual spikes on cacti, just modeled in 3D. It's like, it's kind of cool the way they're doing that. But all in all, the Mexico setting for this looks gorgeous. I think it's safe to say Playground Games just knock it out of the park every time. Every time. And that comes out in a few months, and yeah, again, it looks phenomenal. At number 2 we have Lego Star Wars. the Skywalker Saga. Now, it might surprise some people that have put this game in the list, but they've completely changed how these games play. It's now a third-person over-the-shoulder game based on action, and there's even proper aiming in the LEGO games for the first time. And there's more objectives when it comes to story rather than just breaking LEGO pieces for bits. And there's going to be over 35 levels, a lot of levels, and a lot of them are actually going to be pretty big. And the environments are just gorgeous this time around. They're not emphasizing that everything has to be made out of bricks, so the environments can look really good. The voice acting has changed, so they're not using the actors from the films anymore in the dialogue. They're using original actors so they can play around with jokes more, which in my opinion is a good way to go, especially with it being a long game. And again, this is going to be the biggest game to date of the series, and personally, I can't wait for it. It looks really fun. At number 1 we have Halo Infinite multiplayer. Now, we had a cinematic trailer. What looked like to be taking place right after the first contact war with the Covenant, and it was cool. I like seeing them weaving narrative aspects in with the multiplayer, even if it's just for a trailer, and it was cool. Now, here's the thing, we're going to see the campaign before launch. Joseph Staten did say that we are going to see that indeed, and here's the thing. The team seem confident. It's coming out December 8th. It's a cool time for the game. And here's the thing. To me, it doesn't matter when a game releases in the year. It can release in November, January, February, whenever. As long as it's a good game, I don't care. But when it comes to the multiplayer, the resounding success of the tech test was extremely positive. People loved it, I loved it, and I've not been able to get into a multiplayer properly for about a decade, and this was the first time in a long time where I genuinely not only enjoyed the multiplayer but felt the need to go back. And when the tech test ended, well, I wanted more. And when it comes to multiplayer, that's definitely a good sign. Now, if you enjoyed today's video, please hit like, share and subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications. I have more videos coming out soon. Follow me on Twitter for the latest on information when it comes to my different shows. And I'm out. I hope everyone has a good day. Peace.